Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first Ownr Live. I am your host. My name is Elisha, and I am joined here today by our head of brand, Tanya at Ownr. And today we'll be discussing what trends we saw in 2022, and they actually affect like small business owners, specifically in Canada. I'm really excited about this because Tanya and I are actually both small business owners as well. And so this is a great opportunity for us to riff and kind of chat through some of the interesting stats that we've seen from this recent Ownr survey. So, Tanya, please introduce yourself. Tell me about who you are. I know who you are, but tell everyone else.
I'd love to. Thanks, Alicia. So, hi, everybody. I'm Tanya Hoshi. I joined Ownr in June of this year as head of brand marketing. And I've had this amazing privilege to lead our most recent data survey, which surveyed over 500 Canadians, specifically Canadian business owners. And it was for us to learn more about what led them to entrepreneurship and then what challenge they're also currently facing.
That's awesome. Alrighty, I am so jazzed. Let's just get right into this. And as
Okay.
well, too, for everyone to know, we will be hosting a Q&A at the end of this session. So if you have any questions that you need answered about Ownr or about the survey, please feel free to drop them in the comments wherever you're watching this, and we'll be able to get back to you either during this live stream or afterwards. Okay, I mean it this time. Let's get into it. So a lot of people think that they need to go to business school to start a company, right? But there was a surprising trend that we learned about those who actually started a business from the survey. Can you let me know a bit about that, Tanya?
Sure. So one of the cool things that we learned is just over half of the entrepreneurs that were in our survey, they mentioned that they went to school related to their current business, but 46% of them actually didn't, which is really interesting to see that, there's so many ways to actually start a business and you don't actually have to go to business school for it. One example I always use is my own brother. He never went to business school and he has a very successful business. So it's not a requirement that you have to go, and although it would be nice, it's not actually a requirement to have a very successful business. So it's nice because it's more accessible today to get a business started. You can also acquire a business. So instead of starting your own, you could always acquire an existing one. And you could always sell your own as well in the future. The only caveat is that it has to be incorporated in order for that to happen. But then Ownr's always there to help you out and make sure that you are incorporated in the first place. But yeah, that's really interesting to see that 46% of them never went to business school, never went to the school even related to what they're doing now with their small business.
That actually is incredible. And I personally didn't go to business school.
I didn't
I
either.
started many businesses, failed many businesses as
Yes.
well, but I have started a few and one is still going at this point. So it is really fun to be able to see that people can build those business muscles as they continue and grow and find mentors. Like you said, it's not a requirement. So people should just dive in and really learn as they go along and build the right community and network to be able to maintain their business as they grow.
Exactly. And I mean, there's so many resources there online for you to learn how to actually manage your business. So you don't have to go to a school to learn all that. I think that's what's really great about just having access to all these resources online. You can search for it. Also, Ownr has it. We have our entire blog. There's just so many resources out there where you can just learn. So you don't have to go into it and not know where to start. There's always going to be guidance there.
That's awesome, and it's so important, and as well, I will drop the Ownr blog link in our comments too for everyone to check out. As we're going through, if we mention any different articles or tips or tricks, I will be dropping a link in there. That way you can access it yourself. Alrighty, so I'd love to move on to the next question. This one really interested me because I actually fall into this category. So, um, I saw that almost 30% of responders for this survey said that they did not start their business for the money, right? And this really does go against what we think about when people are starting a business. Even, for instance, if we see it on reality TV or on YouTube, people usually start with, I started this business for money. Here's how I made this much money, make more money, 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 all the time, right? I feel like I'm watching Scrooge McDuck talk about money online whenever people are talking about starting a business. But it turns out a lot of people here aren't really trying to start their empire and leaning into that hustle culture. So, what did we actually learn about people who were starting their businesses beyond money?
Yeah, I think like, while 60% of the actual survey respondents said that they're hoping to be able to provide for themselves and their dependents through their own business, what was really nice is that we found that financial gain wasn't actually the top motivator for starting a business in the first place. So, what we actually found is that our top three reasons for us aspiring entrepreneurs to start a business in the first place was things like gaining more purpose in life, more flexibility in day to day schedule, and creative freedom. And surprisingly, actually in fourth place is where it ranked that, starting a business, the motivation was to gain additional revenue source. So money came in fourth, actually. So the top three were not really about money, but more so about achieving independence and having more personal fulfillment.
Honestly, that's exactly why I started my business. Like, I'm a
Mhm.
meditation teacher, and I built my business around experiences, negative experiences that I had had. And I kind of said, well, I want to help other people kind of get through this like mental health hurdle in a way that I didn't even learn to do from school or our healthcare system. So I started a meditation business because I felt that I was keeping and hoarding this secret that really helped me out. And I found that so many other friends who started their businesses, whether it's related in the same field in wellness as myself or beyond, they did it not necessarily for the money, but because they maybe had the talent or they feel really good about themselves when they are doing that thing. And they realize they can monetize maybe a hobby or monetize an interest that they had. And the monetization didn't ruin it for them. So they just kept it going.
No, exactly. I think honestly, it's actually pretty inspiring to see that Canadians view small business ownership as a means to achieve personal fulfillment and to achieve independence, right? Like rather than just for the money, as you said, you hear it everywhere. And money is great, and money can be motivating. It's not that I can't, but I think for a lot of people, starting a small business, it's beyond that, right? It's more about like how can I, take control of my own schedule, create something that's like a legacy. It's about like, something I've created and has my name on it, and of course the money will always come afterwards, but that won't necessarily be the main reason for people to, run a business day to day. Because we know it's not easy running a business. You need to have this key motivating factor to keep going and getting through the hurdles. And for a lot of people, money just isn't enough for that to be the biggest motivation.
Absolutely. Because really, if money was enough as well, too, some people would just instead move forward with getting a second or third or fourth job in a sense versus starting their own business. Because
Mhm.
usually when you start your own business, the money isn't coming in at first. In fact, you're spending money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to know that there's like other motivating factors that perhaps people can also relate to. And then people are going for it, and like, at Ownr, like our mission is to make entrepreneurship very accessible and make it easy as possible for anyone who wants to start a business in the first place. And that's just because we believe Canadians should never have to choose between financial stability and personal fulfillment. So time and time again, we see that actually through entrepreneurship, through having a small business, you can achieve both, which really, I think, speaks to the fact that entrepreneurship could be the future work in many ways.
I love that so much. That is so important, and I definitely agree. Alrighty, so I'd like to move on to our third question here, which is, what from the survey did we actually learn is going to be important for smaller businesses this holiday season?
Sure. I mean, the holidays are an incredibly vital time for any small business owner. In fact, actually, almost 60% of respondents noted that they have increased business during the holiday season and it's important to their business. And I think over a quarter of them also said that increased business during that time is extremely important for their business. So, at Ownr, we've even noticed that many businesses have even registered and started during this time in order to take advantage of the increase in purchasing from customers during the holidays.
That is definitely very true. Like, I see holiday specials, Black Friday deals. There are so many things that have really come through, not just from major companies, but from smaller ones as well too. And even myself, I'm trying to support many more small businesses, especially during the holidays. So I was kind of creeping along and looking for Black Friday sales with smaller businesses. Some of them didn't have the best sales I found, but that's actually a good thing to me because
Yeah,
they're noting their value. They're noting
exactly.
what they need to be able to make it through this holiday season. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean cutting the prices, which we'll get to a little bit later on.
Mhm,
But
exactly.
Right? Exactly.
No, but I think it's nice because you also have lots of like events that support small businesses. There's lots of pop-up markets, holiday markets, and you see small business like everywhere there. I just went to one myself, and it was so nice being able to go stall to stall and buy these like beautiful, like handcrafted goods. You could tell like this was like very much like, love was put into it. It's not like, mass manufactured. These are small businesses, and yeah, it's so it feels so good to support it. So at the end of the day, the price point isn't always the biggest thing for me. It's more like I can like give this gift to someone and it has meaning behind it because it's special, it's handmade, it was carefully made by somebody.
Exactly, and that I'm really excited about, especially too, is just seeing more people support smaller Canadian businesses this holiday season, and I really do encourage people to do some Googling, even check out on the Ownr blog. We have different awesome businesses that we've listed too. We have an incredible network of people who've registered their business and are still in business today and are sharing their own stories, so we'll be sure to link a few of them down below, but before we continue, I wanted to take a mini moment to actually let people know the data and statistics that we're talking about right now are available on the Ownr blog right now. The entrepreneurship survey is available for you to check out. So be sure to check the link that I'm about to leave in the comments right now, so you could learn more about what we had actually seen from the survey and some more stats beyond the ones we're chatting about today. Alrighty, so I want to dive into the fourth question here, which is what are some of the bigger concerns that small business owners are really thinking about right now?
I think earlier we were saying like finances might not be the biggest motivator for entrepreneurs to get started, especially aspiring entrepreneurs, but it's still a major point of concern for current existing business owners. So what we found through our survey is that 59% of small business owners listed cash flow issues as a concern, and 48% listed inflation and economic uncertainty as their current highest concern. So, right now all of us in Canada are dealing with inflation. We're dealing with fluctuating interest rates, rising cost of living, as well as an unstable job market. So to do our part and what we can do and control, like Ownr is providing additional support this year by reducing the cost of registering a sole proprietorship. And we reduced the price from $89 to $49, which helps us become one of the lowest registration fees across all of Canada. And to date, we've helped over 85,000 Canadians to start and grow their own business by simply making the process of starting and maintaining a business as simple and affordable as possible. So we're doing as best as we can in our part to combat all the stress and factors and concerns around the inflation that's currently happening. And yeah, we're hoping people will be able to benefit from that, especially anybody who's considering to start a business anytime soon.
That is awesome, and I've also even just, like, linked, the our pricing guide as well too below, in terms of what the rate is that we've been able to drop our, like, sole prop price to. That is incredible. I remember when I was an Ownr customer before I started working here, and I remember seeing the price overall, and I was just like, "Wait, it's this cheap?" And now we've lowered it even further. I'm like, "Do I start another business? Like, what is going on here?"
No, exactly. It's nice because there's so many people who are starting off, and especially during the holiday times, they're starting their business. So it's nice to give them a little bit of support so that money isn't always on their mind and is not the reason that they don't get started in the first place.
That's awesome, and even too, I wanted to mention that obviously, of course, people are dealing with inflation and like you mentioned, fluctuating interest rates, that's affecting rent, that's affecting how much money people are spending just shipping items from overseas if they utilize them for their business, but I will say there is hope. There are a lot of people right now who have really looked at their business ledgers and kind of said, "Okay, for me to be able to combat this, I'm gonna increase prices," and we've actually seen different business owners doing so. So about 40% of business owners have already increased their prices at this point, and just over a fifth of them have actually raised their business prices, like their potential costs of serving their clients or their product prices by over 10% at this point. So I think it's a big thing to let businesses know, especially small business know, you have permission to increase your prices. I think a lot of people tend to think that they can't, or they're really scared they're going to lose clients, or there's no possibility that anyone would still purchase what they're up to. But that's where branding comes in. That's where exclusivity comes in. That's where community comes in. So please don't think that you can't increase your prices if you need to be able to do that to hit your bottom line due to different experiences you're having right now in the economy.
Exactly. I mean, just because you're a small business doesn't mean you need to have small prices. You know, you need to stay afloat, you need to survive, and you need to do what you have to do to keep that business going. And there's no shame in that. Absolutely not.
I feel so inspired right now. I'm like, do I raise my prices right now? Like, what are we doing? That's awesome. Well, I haven't seen any questions come through right now, but if anybody else has any questions or DMs for us, feel free to leave your comments down below if you're watching this live stream after it's already happened. And Tanya and I are already just like, floating off the universe. That's fine. You can always still reach us in the comments of this post, or you can reach out to us at our support page. So be sure to visit our contact page. I will link that down below. But thank you so much for joining us during this live. We really do look forward to making more of these. So be sure to follow along on whatever platform it is that you're watching from for more of these videos. And as well, for more information about Ownr or for a discount on incorporation, be sure to follow the link that we leave down below. Any last words from you, Tanya?
No, thank you for having me. This was really great. And we recommend, honestly, just check out this data report survey on our blog. You're going to learn lots, and looking forward to doing our next one as well.
Amazing. Thank you for your time, and we will see you next time. Bye.